Whoa, we're live. Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. We're almost at the weekend. We're almost there. And tonight on the Hack Show, we have oh, God, words are hard. Struggle is real. We have the one and the only Jack the Rabbit. He's been a steady contributor to the community. He's seen in a lot of chats, and he's a super talented singer, guitar player, and he writes some really, really cool tunes. So, without further ado, let me bring on Jack the Rabbit.
Hey everybody, how you
Um,
guys doing? What's up, Hack?
all right, let me before we get going here, we got a bunch of people that have been in here waiting. So let me say hello to everybody. Got Terry Himes in here, who does not have to clean his gutters. Awesome.
What's up, Terry?
Hey, Hank Hill is here.
Hank.
JC, Paul Ewing, Headstock Harem, Layla's Guitar Daddy, the original Paramutant. Zach Song is here. There's my buddy Bruce. How are you? There's the dog paw. Hey, Joe Hervey is here. Hey, Joe, how are you? Six String Brian is here. Merrill J.
Hi everybody.
And Hunter Wren, Music and Vlogs. What's up?
What's up, Hunter? Yeah, I just saw him over at
He's
Laz's
a
stream.
new name. I just subbed him. He is a country artist. So he's new to the community. So let's all welcome Hunter Wren into the community. And there's Marco's Images, Brad Miller, Metalhead Hippie, and the original Paramutant. I'll say hi to you twice. How are you, man? Daniel Horsley is here. Hey, guys. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. And let me just throw this in there. So if anyone's got questions as we motor along here, please. Are you in the chat, Jack?
No.
Yeah, just
should I open a window?
Yeah, just if you type something in the chat, then people can tag you as well. If you don't want it, don't worry about it. I'll pass over any.
No, that's cool. Give me a second. Let me just do this real fast.
No worries. And there's Heath Caldwell. How's it going? Cool, everybody. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday.
Sorry, guys. Just give me 1 second.
No worries. No worries. There's Janice. Not here for long. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Janice. There's Lori's Mishmash. There's Dale Palmer. So here's Kristen Kushmick. How are you?
Okay. So I'm not going to be able to type in the chat, but I'll pay attention to it.
Yeah, people. You don't even have to do it. I'll just say tag. That's two tags that I can see, and I can just pass it. Over. And there's Ricky Conklin. So
hey guys.
Hey Bobby Clipper. So I always start at the beginning. So what got you started in a playing, Jack? What was or maybe what was the artist, or was there a person in particular that sort of got you fired up and wanting to play music?
No, not really. I've liked music since I was a little kid because my mom always sang, and she had like a little classical Spanish guitar. She used to play in the church and stuff. So, you know, she used to like sing me to sleep when I was a little baby. So I was hearing music my whole life. And then when I was 4 years old, I found out that I was rummaging around in my basement, and I found a little child-sized classical guitar down there in a case. And I was curious. So I was like, hey, what's this? So I opened it up.
Yeah.
And I put it on my lap and started playing it, you know, like this on my lap with like a piano.
Right.
Because I had a piano in the house. But and ever since then, I've been fascinated with guitar because nobody else in my family played guitar. I had my sisters took piano lessons and stuff. My mom played piano and sang.
Right.
But
you never grabbed onto the piano, or you?
I still play piano, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I started off taking piano lessons, but I hated it. I maybe took them for, I don't know, a month and then I quit. But I always kept playing the piano.
Right.
You know, I played by ear my whole life. I don't read music, or, you know, I know some theory now that I'm older. I've studied a little bit, but, you know, when the first like 25 years I was playing, I had no idea what I was doing. I just played by ear, started learning songs, you know, but I listened to everything. Classical music was probably the first thing I really loved, you know. I love listening to Bach just because he's amazing. Anything by him, Chopin, yeah, all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, in high school, I went through a phase where I listened to a lot of hip hop, and I was big into R&B.
Right.
soul music, you know, because I started getting into the girls and
Yeah.
I wanted to listen to the music the girls liked,
Right.
you know.
Right. Yeah. I hear you.
But yeah, man, I'm eclectic when it comes to music. I'm kind of all over the place.
Oh, that's cool,
So
man. Because
yeah,
everything you listen to, in one way or another, it all seems to kind of come out, in what you end up doing.
in one way or another. It's funny because I tried to be. I loved heavy metal and prog rock. Like Dream Theater was one of my favorite bands in high school. I went to see them like 7 or 8 times. And Seven Dust, I really love Seven Dust because Lejean, I think, has an amazing voice,
Uh-huh.
and the chords they use are just interesting for metal.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know what kind of I guess it's called new metal. Joe Harvey would know.
Mhm.
But yeah, I was really into Seven Dust. I've been following them pretty much their whole career. So I guess they're a pretty big influence on me when I was older. When I was younger, it was classical music, pretty much classical, and maybe some gospel stuff too. From my mom was in the church, so
Cool, cool.
sometimes.
We got a whole bunch of new people that popped in. Let me just say hello to them real quick.
Sure.
Bobby Clipper is in here. Half Face, James Severance, White Bailey, Lori's Mishmash. There's Papa Blue. How are you?
Hey,
Christine,
everybody.
6 and 10 fingers. Hey, man. Nice to see you. Russ Markart is here. Zach Thong. Han 36 Solo. White Bailey. I'm probably saying hello to people twice, but that's okay. And I think there's Sour Notes. Lars Guitars. All right, I think I got it. If I've missed you, just tag me in the chat so I can see you. Lori's Mishmash says, I envy people who play by ear. I can only read music and have no idea about music theory. Well, if you can read music,
See, I wish I could read music and had a better grasp on theory because it would help me. I mean, yeah, I have a pretty good ear, but knowing that part of it, I don't know. I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of stuff.
yeah,
But that's part of the journey, though. I think it's cool because I always run into people that teach me stuff, even if they've only been playing 3 weeks. I
oh
feel like I learn stuff from everybody, so it's cool because it's a lifelong thing. It's not ever going to stop.
no. And so with the guitar, then, when did you get your first? I mean, real guitar that you were able to play
So
on?
I got a Squier Stratocaster was my first. Oh no, I'm sorry, it wasn't a Squier. It was a Les Paul. Was my first guitar. It was a Gibson Les Paul. I got it in. I think I was about 8 or 9,
Wow.
and my mom got me lessons from this guy Lou that was in our church. He played in the ensemble at their church,
Uh-huh.
and it was his guitar. And he sold it to my mom to give to me, and it was really heavy, man. I didn't like it at all. It was too heavy. So I never got along with that guitar right from the beginning, and I think that started my kind of dislike for.
Gibsons.
No, I like Gibsons, just the Les Paul shape. I just don't like that shape. I just
Right.
never got along with that shape. It's just the way I play. I love the sound. I
Right.
love the way they sound.
Right.
It's just the
You're
shape of it. So
and you were saying off air the way you play is you play classical style.
yeah, mostly classical position. Yeah, even when I play electric, I don't use a strap, and I like to sit down. I don't usually stand up just because I've always played sitting down.
Right. And
So the jack gets in the way.
yeah, it's right now. Right where you
It's
just say.
right in my thigh. It sticks in my thigh, and I'm like, this is really uncomfortable. So, but
So how long did you take the lessons for?
oh, not very long. Maybe I took maybe 4 lessons with him, and then I stopped. I kept the guitar.
Right.
Just kept playing. I just listened to the radio and tried to copy stuff I heard on the radio.
Right.
All kinds of different music. Because back then on the radio, they'd play all kind. It was everything from like Michael Jackson to
Mm-hmm.
be some gangster rap stuff, and then like whatever. It was all kinds of stuff all over the place. But not like now.
So when you got rid of the Les Paul, what replaced it? What came next?
It was a Squier
That was
Strat.
okay.
Yeah, that was my second guitar. I got a Squier Strat, and then I got an Ibanez RG. It was like a RG 170 or something, low model number Ibanez, which I really liked because it had a Floyd Rose on it. It was the first guitar I had with a Floyd on it.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, I was born in '81, so when MTV first came out when I was a little kid, I used to be obsessed with it. My mom couldn't get me away from the TV. And she didn't want me watching it, but I always sneak downstairs and turn it on. But you know, you'd see Warrant and Motley Crue and Rat and Poison and all those guys playing these cool guitars with flames and smoke and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, I want to do that. You know, I want to do that.
You want to make the squealies with the whammy bar.
Oh, that was so cool, man. I was like, this is really awesome. So I guess that's when I first got into trying to be a shredder, but you know, I'm not built for speed. I'm built for power.
You're not alone in that. Hey, Brian S is here. My friend. Edwin Brain. Okay, Wannabe Guitar God is here. Ivan Carter.
Wow.
Oh, we got a lot of people in here, man.
Thanks for showing up, guys.
For coming on, man. Thank you so much for checking it out. Yeah, so you learned by your, you know, you mentioned the theory thing. So, you know, like I've taken lessons on and off, and like yourself, I don't usually last very long, but the only time, honestly, like that I look at theory or use any kind of theory is when is not when I'm putting songs together. I want to, if anything, when I'm putting songs together, I'm just kind of by ear. I'm just like, I think these chords will sound cool together. And after I have like a progression and a riff and this and that or whatever, like I mentioned to you out there, I'm going to be doing some recording this on Saturday, and it's all original stuff that I come up with in that. And it was just like what I said. It's like, here's a cool riff. Let's see what chords will go with that. Oh, I really dig that progression, and I really try to mix it up, try to make up stuff that you haven't heard 100 times over. The only time I'll use the theory is when I want to play parts over it. Then I'll put the theory lens on it and say, okay, what are my possibilities? That's really it. But you know, not in the making of the tune. It's like what I'm going to play over it after the fact.
That makes sense.
You know,
that's kind of what I do too. Although I like to follow a bass line. I think I try to make a bass line.
Yeah.
In my head and follow that.
Well, the bass, like I don't play the bass, but I don't know. It's weird. Like when I hear stuff, I know we talked about this before. Like, and I'm sure you do the same thing. Like when you hear a piece of music and you're going to play over it, I can hear the parts in my head. You know what I mean? Like I hear the music, like, oh, this will work over that. You know?
Yeah, totally. I think of it like if I was going to sing over it. You know, what would I play?
Right.
That's the way I look at it. I like people who play like vocally like that.
Yeah. Well, that's what one of the things that you hear a lot from the professionals in that is to like play what you, or basically sing what you play and play what you sing, and get the voice attached to the notes that you're playing, and then when you're humming melodies and stuff, you're playing them.
You know exactly where it is.
Yeah, and really think about it. You're not using any theory there. You're using your ear.
Yep.
Right. So I think really comes right back to that at the end of the day.
The theory, I do use theory when I write though, because sometimes I'll get stuck on a part where I need a change or something, and I'm like, all right, where's all the places I could go with that? Because I don't like staying. I like to. I don't know. I kind of like to change keys and use like weird.
Well,
you guys have heard my stuff. I use diminished chords and stuff.
The most one of the coolest things I ever learned from one instructor was, he goes, if you want to change keys, just go to the 5 of the key you're in, and that's a transition. Yeah, that's one thing that I learned. Here's a Dogpa saying, a guitar act without theory, you'd have never gotten through the Prince song, which you did really well. Oh, I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, that song rocked.
Yeah, that was just by ear. Hey, Johnny Bean is here. Hey, Johnny, how are you?
Hey, Johnny.
Well, a whole bunch of people showed up here as well. There's Bent Rossum. Welcome. Guitar Fish is here. Watchman for you. Blackjack Guitar Nut. BV Ninja. Hey, BV, how are you? Weedy Guitar Studio.
What's up, man?
Yeah, this is cool. Thanks everybody for joining us this evening. Well, thank you so much. Metalhead Hippie just give us super chat. Have a good show. Peace, Jack.
Oh,
He's
thanks.
working.
He's working, yeah.
Yeah, he's working. All right, have a good rest of your day at work, buddy.
Thanks, dude.
Cool, man. And there's Lenny Lou. Welcome everybody. Yeah, yeah. When you get stuck in a progression and you don't know where to go, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, it comes in handy then.
yeah. It gives you possibilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's yeah. I mean that's when it comes in handy. It gives you possibilities, or when you're soloing, it's like, well, I can play instead of here's where it comes in handy. It's like, I can blow through this in like a minor pentatonic, or I can play, this scale or this other scale, or you know what I mean. Play a more informed solo, whatever, and it just kind of gives you more tools.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of, I think it elevates it, and then it allows you to play a little more melodically as well.
Exactly.
Hey, Dave,
There's
channel, how are you? There's Stafford's Music Studio.
Sorry, guys. Oh no, you're good.
No, you're right. I interrupted you.
I lost my train of thought. It's okay. I'd rather say hi to everybody anyway. I like these guys. These guys are awesome.
Yeah, these guys rock. So, did you ever? So you told me before that you used to be in like in a band and used to do covers and that. So how long ago when did you start with the band thing?
So I started in middle school, probably like 7th grade. I got together with a drummer, and me and him jammed out for a while, and we got another guitar player and a singer. I didn't sing back then. I was shy. So we did that with no bass player. We did a battle of bands at our high school, came in 2nd place, and then when we got to high school, we kind of all went separate ways, and that split up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't play with anybody for a long, long time until I pretty much, I want to say until I moved out here. And I moved out to San Francisco in 2010, and I was looking for something to do. I didn't know anybody, so
right.
I was looking on Craigslist and stuff for people to play with, and I found this older woman who was soprano, classically trained, but she liked to do folk music. And she was looking for somebody to accompany her on guitar, doing traditional folk songs, Irish, Celtic stuff.
Oh, cool.
And stuff like Graham Parsons and Townes Van Zandt. So I was doing that we probably did that for about 3 years. And the first 2 years, it was just me and her. And then we were getting ready to go out and gig. And I said, well, it'd be nice to have some people to fill out the sound. We got a cello player, female cello player, and another guitar player, 12-string.
Wow.
We started gigging, but then the guitar player, he had, problems with liver cancer. He had a transplant, and that took him out. And so we kind of stopped playing. And then we were just starting to get back together, and he was having complications, and he ended up passing away from liver cancer. And that was last year, and I haven't, since then we haven't played together. She comes over now and then, and we still jam and stuff, but we haven't gigged or anything. But that was the last time.
That's sad. Young guy too, I imagine, right?
He was like he's probably in his 50s. Yeah, he wasn't too old.
Yeah.
Older than me, but young. Yeah. It was a shame, but
But
he's still here.
You guys were doing all covers at that point, right?
We were doing folk music, so it was public domain stuff.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like that.
Were you always doing original stuff on your own at the same time, or how did you do originals and the recording and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I started. I think I mentioned this on Mike's stream the other day a little bit, but me and my best friend Andrew, we started playing kind of together, and we used to record stuff onto one cassette tape and onto another cassette tape and fast forward so it sound sped up, and we would write our own songs, and we called ourselves the Psycho Chipmunks. And but ever since then, I was always writing my own songs. I think when I was 12, I remember 12 or 11. I wrote a song for my dad because he was sick. My dad passed away from pancreatic cancer when I was 16. Oh. And so when I was 11 or 12, is when he sat down with us and told us. So I wrote a song kind of for him, and my sister ended up playing it at her middle school, like a recital. I guess they had a recital at her middle school,
Right.
and it made it in the newspaper, and I got this big write up in the newspaper and stuff. But then I kind of stopped writing for a while, because I was depressed because I lost my dad.
Oh, sure.
And so I still played. I just, it was just hard to do a lot of things.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
I always had an acoustic guitar, and I always, kept playing.
Yeah.
Eventually, I started writing again, because that got me out of the funk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's no better medicine, man. Like,
Oh yeah, it's better than any drug.
like
I went that route, tried to self medicate, but no, music is it, man. Music's all you need.
yeah.
You know.
I was a lot older than you when I lost my dad, but that actually got me back into play,
Mhm.
and thank God for that, because like you said, it's the best it's the best medicine, man.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I don't know where I would be right now if I didn't play guitar. Honestly, I'd probably be in a gutter somewhere, hating myself.
Yeah.
On it, really. But yeah, music is where it's at, man.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
And look, we're all here because of it, right? I met all you. You guys are so awesome. I wouldn't have known any of you guys if it wasn't for
Yeah,
music.
it is a fantastic community that we have here, man, for sure.
And I should say, man, thanks for having me on.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no worries, man. It's a pleasure having you on. A few more people. We got Access 2084 is here.
Hey, man.
Okay, it's going down. I saw one other new name. Stanford's Music Studio. If I haven't said hello, hello. There's Paul's Guitar Music too. Okay, cool. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Dave.
So you have there's Guitar Fish. So you have built up like so all the guitars and you have now in the studio. How did when you start like building all that up and start doing some recording? I should mention actually before I forget because I got a terrible memory. I have the link. Most of you here are probably already sub to Jack the Rabbit. If you're not, you should. The guy is amazing. He's got I got his link in the cards, and I have his link below as well. Just beautiful music, man. Just vocals, like the songs are like I told you, man. It's like your shit should be on the radio, buddy. I mean, it's good stuff. I'm not just saying. I'm not blowing smoke here.
I think the chord progressions are too complex for today's radio.
What if you got 4 chords in your music, or maybe the 4th chord is? That's what I'm saying. It's so nice to hear. Like an actual,
Oh, thanks, man.
chord accompaniment and like some melodic content, as opposed to some stupid beat, beat in the background and somebody mumbling.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I hear you. I know.
Terrible.
I guess maybe that's why I do it, because I'm like, it's what I like to hear too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish this is what people would play on the radio.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the topic comes up quite often. Like, I mean, you're mentioning your eclectic tastes and a lot of stuff like that. Like, I love yacht rock. I love that 70s stuff, that 70s AM radio.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because back then, like I'm talking like bands like America, Poco, like Christopher Cross in the 80s, like
yeah,
like there was so much melodic content. Everything was so rich, and it's just like you listen to the music and the melody, it just takes you away, or go further back to the Beatles, it's like, man,
yeah,
and you listen to, I literally, I can't last, if I last more than like 30 seconds listening to any top 40 radio, that's a record for me. Because like there's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's like music died.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all got boiled down to, and I'm going to use this example. Like, look at Billie Eilish, who won like all these Grammys last year. I try to listen. I go, okay, this is the latest. Let me try to listen to some of this stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, Yeah, I'm not.
Man, it's like anytime I hear people like that winning awards, I think of something I heard Wynton Marsalis say one time. He says, somebody's got to win them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Somebody. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I got to give it to somebody.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Karam says Guitar Hack. I just saw Joe Bonamassa. Free tickets. He was amazing. Yes, Joe Bonamassa
Nice.
is amazing. Yeah.
Free tickets?
Yeah. Free ticket. I paid an arm and leg for my tickets. But, it was good. The guy, I mean, every guitar he was playing was worth more than my house, and the phone was sick, and the guy's just an amazing player. He can't write a song though. That's the downside. I mean, guitar. But he's not a great songwriter. But what are you gonna do? Yeah. So anyway, so getting back. So yeah. So when did you start investing and getting like because you've got a recording set up and you've got all these instruments. So when did that all sort of start going?
I got a lot of stuff, man. So I never had a lot of stuff growing up. I like I said, for maybe the first. So after I got rid of the Squier and the Ibanez, all I had was a cheap, $200 Ibanez acoustic.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much until I moved to San Francisco. For maybe like 20 years, that's all I played on was just this cheap little electric acoustic Ibanez, all laminate piece of, it was okay for what it was, but and then when I moved out here, I was because I was a personal trainer. I was doing stuff at the gym. I had, I did bodybuilding shows, and I was really involved with fitness.
Mm-hmm.
So music wasn't a focus of my life back then. It was kind of just something I did to, get not depressed. It was like my Xanax or Zoloft or whatever people take for that. But I started collecting stuff when I moved out here, probably in 2013. I started collecting a bunch of guitars, and it's just snowballed from there.
So it's like the last 7 years.
7 years, yeah.
Yeah.
When I moved out here, I literally had about $150 in my pocket and 3 bags full of clothes, and that was it, nothing else.
Right.
And, I didn't know anybody, had no job, so I was like, well.
That's a ballsy move, man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was tired of the East Coast. Tired of the snow, tired of the mosquitoes, tired of the humidity. I miss the people back there. They were really cool, but
yeah,
it's a lot different out here, The weather's nice.
Like Toronto.
Yeah. Does it snow in Toronto?
Yeah. Well, it's melted now, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about snow anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, over the past 7 years, I would say even over the last 5 years is probably when I got most of my gear. But I bought, sold, traded. I do all the same stuff you guys do. Fix. I'll buy a cheap electric that needs some work and fix it and flip it, and make a couple $100 and buy something better.
Right.
So I kept trying to invest money that I already had spent and trade up and trade up and trade up.
That's cool. Man.
I couldn't do that with everything, obviously, but
Yeah, you got some pretty cool stuff. I can see a nice Strat hanging over your shoulder there.
Yeah, all my Strats back there. Sorry.
Yeah, the rest of them, yeah. And you got that nice SG.
Oh yeah, that thing's cool, man. Let me show you that real quick. I did something to that. I think these guys would like to see what I did.
Check this out, folks. This is wild.
So this is the back of it, and here's the front.
Look at that. That's sick or what? That is sick, man.
Yep. Getting me focus here. You guys can see that, what I did to it?
You can see it fine. Let me present you. There you go. Look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I got this thing from this company called Neck Illusions. I thought it would be cool to have a matching fretboard to go with the white, and it looks like it has ebony binding.
Right.
Because it's. I don't know if you guys see that.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like it has ebony binding now. But yeah, that's the SG. Nice. This thing sounds so killer, man. I'm gonna do a demo of this soon. People keep asking me.
Yeah.
To demo this thing, so I'm gonna do it soon.
You were also talking about swapping out that pick guard. Now that you did the neck, I don't know.
I think I might leave it now.
Yeah.
I like the white now with the white fretboard.
So let me ask you that. So putting that stuff on the fretboard, does it feel weird when you're playing it, or does it? No.
Not at all. You can't even tell it's there. It's like I think it's like point zero set or point set. No, yeah, 0.07 millimeters. I want to say it's really thin,
Right.
and
Right.
the material it's made out of it has the one they sell a gloss one and a matte finish, but the matte finish has a clear coat. It's not glossy, but it's a protective coating over the top.
Right.
So it's kind of like having like a glossy neck. It feels like
Right. Right.
it's not as slippery, but it's smooth like that.
Yeah. That would be my only concern. It's like when you're pressing on the notes, if it feels kind of weird.
No, not at all. I was worried about that too. I got one. I put it on my court,
Okay.
and I get that one over there. But it's a different. It's totally crazy. But I liked it so much that I was like, oh, I'm gonna put one of those on the Gibson. That would look cool with a white
Yeah. That does look
fretboard.
cool, man. I think it looks really sharp. And we got a few more people in here. Fezler61, welcome. Ricky Compton, hello. If I haven't said hello, there's Laz. Hey, Music Therapy Laz. How are you?
Hey guys.
Cool. Just catching up here. If anyone's got any questions, folks, please tag me. Hey, Showman Blues. Hey,
It's
buddy.
been a while.
Hope you're doing well, man. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's okay. Frank Corcoran is here. Blackjack Guitar Nuts. Hello. Oh, he says everything's good. He's been fishing a lot. That's good.
Nice.
That's cool, man. Glad you're doing well. All good here. Feeling great. Nice. Good to know, Showman. Good to know you're doing well, man. All right. So, and you also have some recording equipment. So when did that start happening? When you started buying stuff to record with?
So the recording stuff happened before the guitars, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because I actually in 2012 I got hit with a forklift at my job. I was unloading trucks I was a receiver at a grocery store down the street. So I was unloading trucks. And one morning, one of the drivers came in and he accidentally whacked me with a forklift. So I got a herniated disc in my back and a torn rotator cuff from it. So I was out on temporary disability for, I don't know, maybe a year and a half.
Wow.
While I was going to the doctors and stuff, they were trying to decide if I needed surgery and this and that.
Uh-huh.
So in the meantime, I had nothing to do, right? I was sitting home waiting on doctor's appointments and insurance company phone calls. And I'm like, okay, what the hell am I going to do with myself? Because I was like spiraling downward because I was, I was used to running 3 miles a day and I couldn't do that anymore. So my life changed, So I was like, okay, I need to do something because otherwise I'm just going to get depressed again. So I said, well, why don't I start a recording studio and start producing music for other people. I didn't even think about doing my own stuff. I was like, I wanted to do it for other people.
Right.
And I wanted to volunteer and try to give guitar lessons or just do it for free. You know what I mean? Because
Right. Yeah.
I was like, I'll just put it together and see what happens. So I started buying, first it took me about a year of doing research. And then I started buying my first interface and a computer and some monitors. And then I started adding a lot of outboard gear from that. And it just snowballed once I started going. It was like the guitar thing. I'm like, oh man, I gotta get this, I gotta get that, I gotta get this compressor, I gotta get that preamp,
And that stuff's more expensive than the freaking guitars.
Oh, dude, tell me about it. It's crazy, but you know what? It is worth it because it sounds incredible. So when you put stuff through it.
Who are you producing?
Right now, nobody.
Okay. But who have you worked with? Like,
I mean, nobody you guys would know. Just local people, yeah. Just local.
Like, yeah, bands coming in, like.
No, not bands. So normally, what I would do is I would get together with like other singer songwriters that didn't know how to play instruments. A lot of people on Craigslist were looking for somebody to put music to their vocal melodies and lyrics. So I would find people like that and say, hey, come over. I play bass and drums and keyboards and guitars. We'll figure something out. I could do harmonies for you, whatever. So it was mostly that kind of stuff, acoustic duos. I had a lot of that kind of thing. I had a bunch of blues guys, acoustic blues guys coming through. I met a lot of cool people
Oh,
doing that, but yeah, it's tough, man. Recording other people's it's one of the hardest things I probably ever had to do or tried to do. I didn't have to do it,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, it's tough, man.
You got to tell me a story then. Who?
Oh, there's just I don't know. I had this one guy come in. He was a drummer. He was an older guy, probably in his 60s, late 60s, and he
Right.
played blues,
Hmm.
and he just couldn't play in time at all, at all. And I was like, I didn't want to put a click track on him because I thought that was insulting to somebody who's been playing drums for that long. But I was like, dude, would you mind?
Yeah,
But it wasn't.
yeah,
I was just expecting more, I guess, from.
yeah. That's why I asked.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
cool.
it's tough dealing with people, and
Oh
because
yeah,
you got to when you're dealing with people in a creative capacity, you got to be really sensitive that you don't say, you know what I mean? Anything could trigger them and be, oh, I'm not working with you anymore.
yeah, yeah,
It could be the littlest thing because,
yeah,
so I try to be very liquid in that sense.
yeah. No, I hear it. It's I mean, when you mentioned the drummer, it just reminds me of when we auditioned like 18 of them. And
Yeah, I can imagine.
can you keep time, huh?
I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if I knew the guy was only playing a few months or something,
Yeah,
But this dude's been, he was talking himself up, and then he came over.
that's usually the way. It's like the more I don't know. It's almost like an inverse proportionality thing.
Yeah, like
Thumbs up, the worse they are.
it's
I,
kind of true,
I prefer a guy to come in and say I'm complete shit and then blow me away. I'd rather have that.
right?
That's what you want, right? Oh wow, I'm surprised.
Exactly.
you know, I don't know. I just
I
but
don't know.
at the same time my head goes off to those guys because I wish I had a quarter of that confidence that those guys have.
Yeah,
Misplaced or not, they still have it. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's kind of true. I'm pretty bad at self promotion, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
I, I don't like talking about myself.
Exactly. Why is my channel Guitar Hack? There you go. That's good. Oh,
Yeah.
Marsman is here. Hey, Marsman, how are you?
Hey guys, how you doing? Dwight's here too. Hey Dwight.
Dwight Bailey. If I haven't caught you, Dwight. Hello, Dwight. Cool, cool.
Yeah,
It's
thank you
called
guys for
Dunning.
tuning in.
Marsman said it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Dunning Kruger, that's right.
Yeah, I've never heard that term before, but was that what's
That's like that inverse
is that the first
thing
thing
you're
that
talking about. Yeah.
okay. On 36 Solo says I've heard that a lot. We have been playing for 40 years. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's cool, man. You producing other people? That's
not
great.
anymore, but I tried it for a little while. I got kind of jaded by it, and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna take a break, and then I just started going crazy writing.
Right.
And so for the last couple of years, I've been writing, and everybody's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Why don't you play out? Come do this, come do
Yeah.
that." I'm like, "Nope, I can't do that. I'm focused on me." You know, and
So you're not interested in playing with other people at the moment?
oh, I'm very interested in playing with other people. I would just like to do my own music.
Right.
That's the problem. Is everybody that I come in well locally, you guys probably would be down for it, but everybody I meet locally, pretty much wants to do the top 40 stuff because that's what they're going to get paid to do. They don't want to take the time and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
Well,
like, oh, I already know these 20 songs, so let's just play these for the rest of our
yeah,
life.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what your scene is there, but basically here it's like, oh, I mean, one of the guy who plays with me in Rebel Charm, he plays in another band, and it's an original band.
Uh-huh.
They do they record CDs, they got stuff out, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll tell me about one of his gigs, and also my brother, he's another one. He's got CDs out and stuff. He doesn't, he works with an original band, and their gigs they're all kind of very very similar. It's a showcase. There'll be three bands. They'll play maybe 10 songs. They'll do an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they got to get their shit off, and somebody else comes on.
Right.
and then if they might get paid, if they get paid anything, it's nothing. And
Mhm.
then hopefully they'll, if they're the headliner or the people there to see them, they might be able to sell a couple of CDs. And that's really what it's come down to now. You know what I mean?
Selling merch and stuff.
It's kind of, yeah, it's sad. Like we did a cancer, we did two cancer charity shows a while back, and the last one we did, we had well, both times our headliners were guys that had CDs out. They were getting airplay even, right? And it was so sad. You see these guys, man, like they're getting airplay. The one band, they were playing their song at sporting events, local sporting events. Like you think, and these guys were like, no, man, it's like they still got their full time jobs. They're selling a CD, maybe a T-shirt, if they're, and
That's crazy.
that's really, or they'll go on these tours. They'll get all these opportunities and all this kind of stuff, but there's never any money to be made. They'll open up for another better, bigger band, and they're just playing for exposure. It's really, really, really sad.
It's tough, man.
It's come down to it, right? Bruce is saying, I like the sound of the Martin D14, Jack the Rabbit.
I'm sorry?
Bruce, Mr. VHB, saying he likes the sound of the Martin D14.
The D4, the D14 or the D15?
I think maybe he might mean the 15.
That thing sounds incredible, man.
Yeah.
I think he commented on one of my videos this morning, actually, about that. But yeah, that D15 is crazy, man. The Sapele one I have to go pick up my other one. I have another one that's Honduran mahogany. I took it down to Gary Brower when I went with Laz to Real Guitars, and I got to go pick that one up tomorrow. But I told Bruce I'm going to do a shootout with the Honduran mahogany versus the Sapele, so you guys can hear the difference in the two, because there's a huge difference between the two of them, even though they're pretty much the same exact guitar.
Well, my band, the Hit Disturbers, is here, and they're screaming at me to check my phone.
Check your phone. The Hit Disturbers.
Phone.
That's a new name for me. How you guys doing?
Must be important here. See what's going on.
Hey Dave, how you doing, man? DR Guitars. I hope you're feeling better, dude.
Oh,
it was good to see you. Sorry.
All right. Yes, I saw the message, and sure, yes, it's a gig for tomorrow night.
Oh, nice, dude.
Regular schedule program.
There you go. Yeah, Watchmen for you. That's true, man. They did some amazing stuff. Les Paul and Mary Ford. They did some crazy stuff at his house, recording wise, with the multi-tracks. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was the guy, man. He came up with all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All those techniques.
See, I knew that. I think he's. I don't know. To me, I think he's better known for the recording stuff that he did than for the guitar. Because that stuff was way more amazing to me than coming out with that Les Paul guitar.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's a really good book out. It's called. Oh man, I'm sure somebody in the chat's read the book. It's really cool. It's about Les Paul, Leo Fender. It's like Gibson versus Fender or something, and it's not the name. It's something like that, but it's like the whole history of how Leo Fender came up, how Les Paul came up, and with the recording and what one guy was doing, and the invention of the electric guitar and all that kind of stuff. It's a really, really good book. It gives you a lot of the history behind, Leo, and there's other names. Bigsby is a big player back in the day, and who stole ideas from who and all this kind of stuff. It's a really cool read.
I've never played a Bigsby. Have you?
I think, yeah, I've tried guitars with Bigsby on them. The Bigsby thing for me, it's like, it's almost like it's a technique. You know what I mean? Right? Like you gotta be the right type of player. Like a Bigsby for me, I don't even know. I wouldn't even know what to do. It's not a whammy bar, first of all.
Right.
You're basically just doing it for those subtle little tremolo things. Like if you're playing rockabilly and stuff, right? Like you see a guy named Brian Setzer, like he's a man of Bigsby, right? But
Mhm.
like for me, it's just I don't it's not something that I've ever used. You know what I mean?
I've never even tried one before. I don't even know what they feel like when you.
The it's it's got a fair bit of tension on it, right?
Can you adjust the tension like you could on a Floyd with the
Uh,
springs and stuff?
Probably could with the springs. I'm not even
Does
sure.
the Bigsby have springs? No, huh?
Yeah, it
It
comes back.
does.
It's got to have a spring
Oh,
on it.
it's got that spring on the. It goes just the one that goes
Right.
like that, right? Yeah.
It's just, but it's like, just to get, because when you're using it, you're almost using it to give you kind of a vibrato,
Hmm.
tremolo kind of thing. So you got to be like, you got to have that technique to move it in and out nice and slow and to accentuate the notes and whatever you're playing, right? So there's a lot of technique involved with the Bigsby to do it properly, and I don't have that technique, right?
I gotta try one.
And also pitch. Apparently, I've never strung a guitar with a Bigsby, but you actually have to string through the Bigsby. Apparently, it's a real difficult thing to do.
Uh,
Guitar with a Bigsby, like people complain about stringing a Floyd Rose. That's nothing. You cut the heads off, you jam them in,
yeah,
and it's
screw
done.
it in.
That's it.
Yeah.
But the Bigsby is this whole other production. So yeah.
I gotta get my hands on one and try it. Do
Uh,
any of you guys play?
Half Face is saying guitar like you are correct. It's a different thing. I like them very much, but I can't blame anybody for not digging them. It's not that I don't dig it, Half Face. I'm just not good with it. I wouldn't. That's yeah. I'm just not a Bigsby guy. Uh, hey, there's Gurr. Welcome. You can change that hack to make it. Oh, Dave's guitar channel is saying that you could change it so that it's easier to string up a Bigsby. Yeah, it's a string through rod you can order. Okay, so there's a
Oh,
add-on. Okay, good to know, man. Yeah, I don't know shit about Bigsby. Yeah, yeah. Steve Miller is also related to. Oh, Steve Miller is related to Les Paul. I didn't know that.
really?
I knew they were close, but I didn't know they were related. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, your original stuff is. So what do you got any plans for your original stuff? Like what you want to do with it? Are you
Honestly, man, I didn't even plan
together?
to.
Are you doing Distro Kid? Like
I just put that new one out on DistroKid just to see. I've never used DistroKid. I've had it for a few months. I signed up last year for it, but I've never put anything out on it. So I figured I might as well just do a test and see, what happens when I put a song out on there. So I put that song "Faith" that I just did on DistroKid.
oh
I'll probably pull it down once I get a more. I would like to get fully produced mixes of all my songs, but because I trying to play and sing and write and do all the recording myself, it's a lot of time, man. Anybody who's done this before knows it's a lot of time, and I work a full-time job, so
So what are you
uh,
talking about, like taking it to like another studio and having someone else do the mixing for you?
yeah, I've contacted a few people here on YouTube. I wrote Warren Heward an email. Somebody suggested I write him to see if he would produce something for me, and I contacted Larry Mitchell because I know he produces stuff. I'm really into Larry. I love the way he plays.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but other than that, yeah, I haven't really looked into something. I was supposed to work with Phil Mosley, but I emailed him and I haven't really heard anything from him. I don't know. He's kind of been MIA lately.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen him much from him, but yeah. Other than that, no, I haven't contacted anybody. But I would love to. Like I said, I would love to play with other people and do my originals and realize full productions, and it'd be cool to play in live and stuff.
Yeah.
But I gotta get
Well then,
people who could help me do that. It's a
yeah.
lot of work by myself.
Then you have to get into the auditioning with people and
Yeah, which is fine. It's just I got to get there first.
yeah,
Right now I'm not that far. I didn't even think I was gonna start a YouTube thing. You guys all here, everybody in the chat, and Mike at CGS, and you and Ben Coombs, everybody's just like, do it, do it, do it, do it. So I was like, what the hell? Might as
yeah.
well.
So let's when what how did you find out about the YouTube thing and I'm trying to remember when I first noticed you in the chats. I,
Uh, But I used to go under a different screen name, so I didn't start showing up as Jack the Rabbit until years after I started watching guitar channels when what was it? Will's Guitar and Scott Grove had that
Oh yeah.
tone wood thing going on.
Yeah.
I don't know how long ago that was, maybe like what, 8 years, 7 years, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just started watching Guitar Tube back when Scott Grove was first started posting. So
Right.
I know it's been quite a while, but I never thought I was going to be any. I was like, oh, I don't know, YouTube. I like watching the guys, but I'm not going to be a YouTuber.
Mhm.
YouTuber.
Yeah.
But yeah, I finally decided I had enough people in my real life, day-to-day interactions, because they knew I played music, saying, "Hey man, why don't you put your original stuff, out for people to hear?" And I don't have a Facebook or Instagram, or I don't do Twitter or anything like that. I had no social media.
Right.
But I always watched YouTube, and I'm like, well, I see people putting their stuff out on YouTube, and some of the stuff does pretty well, so I might as well see what it does. So, and then all you guys were being super supportive about it. Otherwise I wouldn't have. If I was just a random dude coming out brand new, fresh on YouTube, and wasn't part of this community first, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
So
How did you walk into the community?
man, I don't even know. I just I always watched videos and commented, but I guess it's when the live streams first started going on.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then I could talk to people in the chat, like, live,
Right.
say hi to everybody. And, because you don't really get to know people's personalities from a comment or two on a video, even though you might see them comment on every video you're on,
Right.
you don't know that person's sense of humor or, how they think or whatever. So at least in the chats, it's live and you could have an interaction live with people, which, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was. I started watching Phil McKnight when he first started going live. I've been watching him since day one.
Yeah. I think Phil's one of my first too.
Yeah. So when he first started going live, that was like a game changer,
Mhm.
Yeah, I just started saying hi to everybody in the chats, and because I do that in my real life too. I work customer service. I work in the restaurant, customer
Mhm.
service job. I manage the place, so all day long, I had customers coming in, and I treat them like family because I see them all the time. They're in my community, so I figured I treat my YouTube friends the same way as if they live next door.
Yeah.
No different.
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess that's how I got into it. It was just Scott Grove, and then Phil McKnight went live, and then from there it just kind of snowballed, and then it was on Mike, China Mike's CGS stream.
Yeah.
I was chatting with him back and forth, and
Of course, the first was on China Mike. Yeah.
yeah. So that's probably where I got to know everybody at first, was on his live stream. Every Sunday I would go there because it was a positive place to hang out. A lot of the other channels, I would go to their live streams, and it would be fun, but it would be not always so nice,
Mhm.
People weren't always so polite, and in my opinion, there's no reason to be like that towards anybody.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know them, who cares?
Yeah.
You don't know them. They could be somebody that you want to know.
Yeah. What I always say is, there's enough garbage outside. Let's leave it out there. So I'm bringing it in.
Yeah, all that stuff. I worked at a bar for so long. We didn't, we never discussed sports, politics, or religion. That was the rule.
Yeah.
I kind of still do that because why? There's no
Yeah.
point. It doesn't get you anywhere. Let's talk about music. Let's
Yeah.
play some tunes.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. We got a few more people popped in here. There's SD Design. Welcome to the channel. It's a new name for me.
Hey, SD. I know SD.
Jimmy Biter is here.
Hey, Jimmy.
I haven't said hello. PJ and the Beard. Hey, man. There's another great.
Hey, guys.
There's Guitar Meets Science.
Hey, Jimmy. What's up, dude? Good to see you.
We got a lot of fantastic channels in here. A lot of great content in here. So if you see some names that you're not familiar with, check out their channels. And if you dig it, like and subscribe.
Thanks, Joe.
Cool. Very cool. Stafford's Music Studio. I think I said hello.
Thanks, dude.
Awesome. Yeah, if anyone's got any questions, I haven't seen a lot of questions.
That's just a great comment.
There's the architect. Sorry, what was that?
No, Hank Hill, he wrote a great comment. He said, oh, hang on, it scrolled up. He said,
Jack?
Jack should write, yeah. Thanks, man.
Hey, there's John Harden. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. So what's next for Jack the Rabbit? What are you working on? What any plans?
Yeah, actually, well, this weekend, I started taking Sundays off starting this weekend. So I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off,
Nice.
which is nice. So yeah, I'll be able to work on stuff more often. And but tomorrow I gotta go get my D15 from Gary Brower, and then I'll probably make a video. I got to do a demo of that SG. I got a couple songs that I'm writing. Hopefully those will be finished pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
I got to make a Facebook account this weekend. Because I got to connect with my buddy Vince Janella, he goes on Facebook Live all the time.
Vince Janella is in the chat.
Is he really?
Hi, Jack. I made it. He says.
Oh, dude, Vince, thanks for coming in, man.
Welcome.
Yeah,
man.
if you guys haven't checked out Vince, man, you guys got to check him out. He's sick. He's sick.
Welcome to the channel, man. Oh, BB Ninja's got a question. He says he asked this earlier. I apologize, buddy.
Oh, what's up?
It's for Jack the Rabbit. Are you or were you recording mixing bands in quotations in the box, or do you have analog desk and outboard?
No, I've got analog gear, man. I do both, actually. I shouldn't say I just do one or the other. I use both, but I definitely prefer the analog stuff. Although I mostly use the analog stuff for vocals and acoustic instruments. If I do electric guitars, I just run them through my processor and straight in. That's usually the easiest way to get a decent electric sound for me anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a recording engineer, man. You could call me recording hack. Because I just literally so my father was an AV guy. He ran the audio-visual lab at Southern Connecticut State University.
Oh, cool.
He was like the head guy in the AV lab. So I grew up watching him in our church do audio and video back when they used to have to sync it. Like there was I don't know what the machine was. I was a little kid, but they used to have to sync it manually on like 2 TV screens with a little jog wheel. I don't know if you guys ever seen those before, but
yeah.
I never got into audio when I was young because my dad did it and I thought it was boring. But now that I'm older, I was like, oh man, that stuff. I wish I paid more attention to it because it would have been valuable now. Yeah, because I went down the rabbit hole of audio engineering, and man, that's a whole different art. That's like learning, to play an instrument all over again.
Right.
Because I thought I knew how to play guitar until I tried recording myself play guitar, and then I was like, wow, you could hear every little nuance of string scrape, and even like if I breathe too heavy, you could hear that, So I have to control my breathing when I play just my acoustic and me. I have to be really aware of what I'm doing. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys ever tried recording acoustic, just you and an acoustic guitar.
No, never. I wouldn't attempt electric doing it.
Electric's way easier, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I spend a lot of my time trying to mic up acoustic instruments, cellos. I try to find people on Craigslist who play instruments that I don't play, and I say, hey, come over and let me record you for free or whatever, I'll do just to get the experience because I think it's really cool. And you meet a lot of cool people that way too.
Yeah. That's cool.
Like I keep a violin in my studio. I don't know how to play a violin, but if somebody comes over and knows how to play it, I'm gonna be like, let's record, man.
What's the violin?
Or girl.
Yeah. Come on over. I got a violin in my appointment.
That's a big selling point.
There's a new line. Hey, Zimmerman's here. Hey, Sean. How are you?
Hey, Sean. Thanks for coming, guys. Wow, it's great to see everybody here, man. So cool.
That's cool. Oh, Spencer Crime. Did I miss Spencer Crime? Meryl J, here's a question for Jack. Do you plan on posting any of your recording projects when you get your studio rolling?
Recording projects like full productions?
I guess that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm new to the whole video thing. So I just got a new camera Brian S recommended the Zoom Q8, so I
Okay.
got one of those. I haven't used it yet, but hopefully this weekend I'm going to test it out. But I want to, try to record myself, recording all the instruments myself and doing a fully produced track. And I basically play everything live on camera, just one take. Because I don't like to dub and stuff. I'm a one take person. If I can't do it in one take, I might as well not do it because.
Show everybody the process, walk through it. That would make for a really cool video. Man.
Yeah, I don't know if people would be into it. I would do it. I have a lot of stuff here. You know what I should do is a studio, I did kind of with Laz on his live stream. He kind of showed my studio off a little bit, but I should do like a legit walkthrough of all my gear and stuff. I think you guys might be interested in that.
Yeah. I do like a behind the scenes, like here's how I recorded this, and then take everybody through the different.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start doing stuff for my Patreons too, for extra things like that, like behind the scenes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I have some songs that I'm working on that if I get stuck on a part, they'll be like, "Hey guys, you got any ideas?
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me out?"
Yeah, well, why not?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
BB Ninja saying that mic
cool.
is important as is position with acoustic. They say mic placement is important. Yeah.
He said what?
He's agreeing with you about mic placement. Oh, there's Tempest. Hey, Tempest, welcome. Oh, we got.
Tempest is here. Hey, man.
Tempest is here.
Right on.
Yeah, we got 66 people in here.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah,
that's a good crowd. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming in. Much appreciated. Okay, we've hit the hour mark, so.
Wow, already?
Yeah, see, told you we'll fly by.
Man, that went fast.
So we'll hang out here for a little bit longer. If anyone's got any questions, I got some calls I need to return. I gotta find out what's happening tomorrow night. Apparently, I'm doing it good.
Nice.
Hack, my mic sounds a little muffled. Okay, hopefully it's not muffled anymore.
Cool. Oh, Vince, thanks, man. Thanks for coming, Vince. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, welcome to the channel, Vince. So, folks, let me just, while we're waiting for some questions to come in, I just want to thank everybody for coming and checking out the show. If you're not subbed to the channel, you like what you see, please sub to the channel. If you're not subbed to Jack the Rabbit, I have his link below. I also have his link up in the cards. So check out Jack's channel. If you want to follow me on, thanks, Vince, appreciate it. If you want to follow me on Facebook, I have links to my Facebook below, links to my Instagram below. If you want to help support the channel, there's also a link to PayPal, and there's Guitar Hack merch as well. All those links are below. That would also be much appreciated. Somebody was asking for the guitar?
No, I figured while you were talking, I might as well put a guitar up.
Hey, there's Nikki Note 6. Nikki Note 6, that's a new sub. Thanks so much. Thanks for being here.
Awesome, guys.
Okay, here's a question for you. This is from Dave. Sure. How are you digging the SG?
Oh man, I love that thing. I love it. I didn't think I would get along with a Gibson ever again after my experience with the Les Paul when I was a kid. I tried many Les Pauls, and I said, I don't know, maybe Gibson's just not for me. So I was a Strat guy, but this thing, man, it's so cool. The fret access is just, I love it. It's so easy to play, and it sounds awesome. It's so thick.
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds great.
SD Design's got a question for you.
Sure.
What microphone do you record acoustic with?
It depends what I'm doing. So normally I use my Manley reference cardioid mic, and I go through my Voxbox because I like the compressor on that.
There you go.
On the Voxbox, it has a nice squish to it.
Cool.
But yeah, that's usually my recording is a reference cardioid into a Voxbox and then I go into my Focusrite interface into my computer.
All right. Bobby Lopes is saying, does Jack mean analog to tape?
Analog to tape. Yeah, it was all tape stuff. It wasn't digital back then. I think he's talking about what my dad used to do at the church with the video and audio syncing. Yeah, it was all tape. It wasn't digital back then.
Thanks, Bruce, for throwing in the links. Appreciate it. Joe Babinga's here. There's a new name for me. Welcome to the channel.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
Yeah, folks, if you're not subbed, again, if you're not subbed to Jack, his link is below. If you're not subbed to me, please sub the channel.
Back.
Appreciated. And yeah, if there aren't any more questions, I think we're gonna call it. So I want to thank Jack the Rabbit for coming on.
Thank you.
It was awesome having you. And yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. You guys rock. And looks like you picked up some more subs too, Jack. Awesome.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Guitar Meets Science. All right.
I love you guys.
Have a great rest of your week. Have a fantastic weekend. And we will catch you next week. I don't know who my guest is yet. I'm working on it. But I'll announce it when I know it. All right. Cheers, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Love you.
Sure. Cheers.